Welcome to Million Hour Life Podcast, where we talk about everything longevity related. And today we're going to talk to an old buddy, someone I've known for many years, who's been on a recent 2.5 year, 70-pound weight loss journey, and has totally changed his body and his life. And then we're going to finish up talking about peptides. So welcome to Million Hour Life, Johnnie Ray Tyson. What's going on, man?
I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad to hear that I get to tell people about this. This is great information. You know, it's like, I know you just said to me, we're not doctors. We're just trying to figure this out as we go, right?
Nah, let's remind everybody, neither of us have any medical background. We're just some guys that do research on mostly social media and then use ourselves as guinea pigs and then share that information with people like you who might want to do some research like we're doing the old-fashioned way. So
yeah, I would have paid any amount of money to know what I know now then, right? Like it would have, for me, that the information was really like, the trains used to drive around the country and, they never stopped. They sort of picked up water and mail and supplies as they went. And that's sort of how I gathered all this information over time. And I tried everything. I mean, you and I, how many years did we mess around with the weight loss contests? And I really struggled with just constantly.
Even when we did that, we yo-yo dieted.
That's exactly right. It never stayed off. And I tried to lose. I always told my wife, I tried to lose 15 pounds for 30 years and gained 60. Right. So
I tell people I probably lost 200 pounds. I mean, it was the same 20 pounds 10 times over and over again.
Absolutely.
I feel like when we used to get done a weight loss contest, I could be like, all right, Tice, 6 months. You want to do this again?
Yeah, we took each other to Fogo de Chao, all you could eat.
We just lost weight. Let's go eat like slob.
Win. Your mindset. My mindset wasn't in the right spot. So
I love that. So start with explaining to me, like, did something happen in your life that made you take another look and reevaluate things and get on this journey? Or was it like you're saying, just the accumulation of, I got to do something?
It was both. So first, you don't gain it all in one shot. One of my favorite sayings, and I tell my kids this all the time, is that the weight of your habits are rarely felt until they're too heavy to break, or the chains of the weight of your habits are rarely felt until they're too heavy to break, right? And you create a system of eating a certain way, and it's there's so many food habits you're not even aware you're doing, right? And I think one of the things that I know we talked about, and ending this with some peptide talk, but that was one of the things that stood out to me right away with peptides is that signaling was able to show me the difference between sort of a hunger and a habit. So I had a lot of real bad food habits, and I gained a lot of weight over a period of time. And I did so much up and down that, when I first moved to North Carolina in 2013, I had gotten down, substantial 215-ish, right? And before I really got committed and put these things together, I had gotten as high as 267, 270. It was a lot of weight. My wife got cancer 3 years ago. She had breast cancer, and she had just had her first of 2 surgeries. And she was asleep, and I was trying to keep my son from coming in the room and waking her up. And I picked him up. I had socks on, and I was at the top of my steps, and they were wooden. And I missed the first step, and man, I went head first. Him and I both down the steps, and I dislocated my shoulder. And at the time, I still did boxing. I've always done boxing.
Yeah, I remember you did Muay Thai,
kickboxing, and boxing. And, I always lifted weights probably once, twice, as much, 3 times a week would be a great week, right? And I always saw myself as a person who worked out, but I was never really committed to it. And when I messed my shoulder up, it was going to take 3 months to get the surgery. And it was, it was a full labrum reattachment. And it was the kind of thing where I couldn't run, couldn't bounce. I was coaching Muay Thai at the time, so I couldn't fight. I couldn't hold pads. I couldn't do anything. Couldn't jump rope. Nothing bouncing
Dude,
would.
you know it's bad when your shoulder hurts so bad that you can't run. Like that doesn't even sound right.
Yeah,
so
it was just the bouncing and being fat, bouncing. So
yeah,
I told myself I wasn't going to gain any more weight. And then sort of within that same time period, I started walking, couldn't run. So I had to walk, and I started walking, and I probably walked about 3 miles every other day, every 3 days, something like that. But I was in my head, I wasn't going to gain any more weight. And it was around Christmas time. It's my brother-in-law's birthday. I saw him in a picture, and I didn't believe it was him. He had lost he was probably at about 40 pounds then, but he lost a total of about 60 pounds. Awesome. And I called him on the phone, and I said, how are you doing this? And he told me at the time he didn't even know that he couldn't tell me the name of what it was, but it turned out to be Manjaro.
Okay.
And, so Manjaro, if for those who don't know this, Manjaro was the original for diabetes.
Yeah. The one that was actually for type 2 diabetes before they figured out, hey, people are actually losing weight for this.
There's a lot of weight on it, right?
Yep.
And then that became Zepbound, which became which was an approved weight loss drug. But it took me a year to figure it out. It was just tirzepatide, which is a GLP-1 peptide, branched chain amino acid, not much bigger than protein, biosimilar, bioidentical to the shit you already got in your body. And Eli Lilly's charging you $1,500 a month for it if you can't get the discount or whatever. And now you can see them. You can get those. They're readily available if you can find the right places and right people to talk to, right?
So knowing a good amount about the GLPs and knowing you be the type of person who did the research to make sure you weren't hurting yourself with the side effects of it.
Right.
How did you manage your weight loss without losing that lean muscle mass?
Well, so I'm going to give you the 5. So this is the 5.
This is your 5. This is your 5 pillars.
This is I call it the levers, 5 pillars, 5 things you cannot not do. Okay, you have to do these things. All right.
Tyson process. I love it.
It's the process. Dad bod to rad bod, right?
Dad bod, dude. I wrote that down. Dad bod to rad bod.
It's so 10,000 steps. Okay. I'll start with number 1, 10,000 steps.
Every day?
Yes. And here's why. People laugh when you say it's just start by walking. People laugh at that. That is it doesn't seem.
You froze up for a second after doesn't seem.
You're back?
There you go. You're back. I was just about to pause. We're good. It was only a couple seconds. Okay. I heard it seem. Go ahead. After seems.
So a regular person, if you look at their activity, if you were to put a step counter on any one person, typical person, 2,000 to 4,000 steps in a day. Okay. So if you leave your house and you walk a half hour out and a half hour back, it takes about 60 minutes to get 6,000 steps. Okay. So 2,000 steps every 20 minutes is the best way to sort of think about that. Well, if you look at that, a person's awake for 16 hours. They're getting 4,000 total steps. That means they're moving for maybe 2 to 4 minutes out of every hour for 16 hours. That's terrible.
It is.
It's like
when you think about how we lived for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Like getting 10,000 steps is nothing, right? I mean, now I'm doing 20. Like I go out and do 20,000 steps between what I do for work, and then I get intentionally 10,000. But if you start with 10,000 steps, there's no barrier to entry. You have to be able to walk. Okay, so
everybody can walk.
Let's just go.
Yeah, I like that too. Everybody can walk. Let's start. And I'm with you, man. By the way, I'd say about 75% of the workout that I do is walking on a treadmill on the highest incline that I can. To me, it's the best workout you can get, bang for the buck, without damaging your body too much.
It is the magic pill. If there's anything out there that's close to the magic pill that you can take, it's put one foot in front of the other for as long as you can, get 10,000 steps a day. Now, you might not be able to get it all in the first time out the door. You might have to go out the door twice. Maybe you got to go out the door 3 times. Yeah. But me, from now, I'm right at about 600 days. I'm over 600 days right now. So almost 2 years. I have not missed a day. Wow. I laugh with my sons. I told them I do it with I had a busted ankle, busted knee. My shoulder was hanging off until they put it back on, and then it was just sewn back on. So I did it that whole time. And I've done it sick. I've done it in the cold. I've done it in the snow. Doesn't matter. If you make that, I'm not going to miss, that alone is life-changing. Now, here's why. You make that promise to yourself, you can keep a lot of other promises to yourself. I've been in my bed where I didn't make 10,000 steps. I look at my wife. She's like, "You are nuts." And I get up. I've done it in the hall. I've done it in my hallway in my house. I've walked back and forth in my house, in my hallway in my house. I had a kid wreck his snowboard last year. We were at the hospital while he went in to see the doctor, and I walked around the hospital until I had 10,000 steps. So you can't, rain, snow, sleet, hail, doesn't matter.
Listen, you can either think of reasons to do it or excuses not to. So I love that you went, no, my reasons are beating my excuses regardless.
Yeah, and look, I tell anybody who says, "Oh, I can't do that," it's, if you can, it's more like if you won't, you won't, right? Or you don't, which just makes you stupid. You won't makes you dumb. You don't makes you lazy or something. I don't know how I would put it.
I like stupid. I'm going with stupid.
Okay, stupid's good, right? So the second thing, number 2.
That's number 1, 10,000 steps. Boom.
10,000 steps. Number 2, fasting. Understanding what I mean when I say fasting. I'm not saying don't eat forever. I'm saying intermittent fasting. So it's don't eat until about noon. Stop eating before about 8. And if you understand that if you can use that window, you really start getting good at eating once or twice in that window, and then filling in with a snack or something, one snack at the end, and you really get control of what's habit and what's hunger.
I love that, dude. I do it with you, man. I'm an intermittent faster as well. I do my eating window is from 2 to 8. So I'll do a protein shake and an AG1 at 2, and then a meal at like 6, snack it up at like 7:38, and then as long as I can and I don't have any drinks, I'm done for the night.
Yeah, well, that's it. And I've kind of perfected I call it 12 to 8, 2 to 8, 2 to 6, 6 to 10. And the 6 to 10 is for when you're going to go out drinking. You do that one meal.
You know what you're talking about there, eating from 12 to 8, that's a 16-8. Yeah. That's a good number to do intermittent fasting. Like they say, anything over 12 or 14 really is where you want to get to. So that's great.
All right. You can shrink that window, and if you're not hungry, you understand that once this process starts and you've actually lowered your sugar and you're getting your insulin resistance corrected and you're losing weight, your body's eating fat, so you don't get as hungry anymore, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing once a day is not hard to do. I mean, even really skipping a day is not hard to do, but it's not what I've done. I've literally I don't eat before 12, and then a lot of times I just, like today, I ate at 4 o'clock. Right? I just came in.
You're good.
At 2:30, I had one of these guys at 2:30, the protein in the can.
Yeah.
And I at 4, and I did that because I was thirsty. I didn't have anything else in the truck to drink, and then I came home and ate at 4. So,
have you ever tried a 72-hour water fast or anything like that?
I have done 48 hours, never more than 48 hours. I had mentioned Barnes. He actually has done the full 7-day water fast, and No, I mean, look, I see all the benefit in it. I totally understand why people do it. I'm sticking to these 5 for right now. And I've,
Well, listen, hey, pick my brain, dude. I've done 72 hours once a month for the past 2 years, and I did 5 out of the last 8 weeks.
really,
Yep. Sunday through Wednesday, just black tea, water, and amino acids.
and I mean, for you, it's for what? Losing weight? Is it just
Well,
for
so I was
now
training
for
to run a marathon, and I had to pull some extra weight off. That's why I did the 5 out of 8, or really 5 out of 7 weeks, but then it was a week ago.
And you
But
noticed
every
that
month, I do the one time a month more for autophagy and what it's doing to clear out all the senescent cells and the bad shit that just accumulates in your body if you don't get rid of it. So, and I
yeah.
did it, started doing it for dieting, but then I really noticed how much better I felt, how much brain fog I was able to clear out. And now I don't even mind it. Like, day 3 is a little bit tough and day 1 is a little bit tough, but I actually enjoy the middle.
Yeah, I've been told that now see, you're saying 3 is tough. I've been told 2, the second day is the hardest, and then the third is like it starts into being like the breeze, right? But everybody's different. Everybody's different. I get
For
them right
me,
around 10 a.m.
it's all in your head. Like for
Yeah.
me, when day 3 comes, I can't go on the internet. I can't put on TV. I don't want to see any food anywhere.
Yeah.
And the same thing the first night when my wife's cooking and I got to just go upstairs and not eat. It's a little bit rough, but then I wake up the next morning and I'm like, I feel good. So
Yeah.
don't sleep on it. Maybe try it. Okay. So love it. 1, 10,000 steps. 2, intermittent fasting in at least a 14-hour not eating window.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so now here's where all these kind of go together, right?
Okay.
But tracking.
I was going to ask you how you track.
So I actually use my Fitness Pal because it tracks a lot of different things.
Okay.
Now, from a step standpoint, I have a separate thing that I use. It's pedometer. It's basically a free app, but it uploads into my Fitness Pal.
Nice.
If you are walking every day, you become committed to not missing it, right? So you want to see that tracker say, I got today too. There's 10-day history. And when you lose a day, I've lost like I've had 300 and some days in a row and had something screw up on my watch or my phone and it didn't track that day and it started over. I wanted to cry, right?
I hear you, dude. I do it too.
And I did the work. I just couldn't put it in.
It didn't track it.
It didn't track it. So when you track something, that I think that helps it helps your head, it helps you be committed to it. But from the next piece is the protein floor. So number 3, track everything you put in your mouth, every step you take, every exercise you do, every fast you do. It's all in my Fitness Pal.
Do you go as deep as like continuous glucose monitors or anything like that?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't have one. My brother-in-law has one now, and everything. He looks fantastic. Like he's another gray-headed guy that's built like a brick shit house now, and
sweet.
He's doing good. He has diabetes. He had a pancreas problem or something, and he got diabetes.
He got what I call scared into shape.
Yeah. So he had a life-changing incident that happened to him that made him lose weight and get himself in good shape. For me, I just was way overweight with the thought of 3 kids, and my wife wasn't doing too good. And I figured we got to turn it around. We got to change. My wife's doing this stuff too. So
that's awesome. Glad to hear that.
So next one is protein floor, calorie ceiling, right?
Okay. So, I like that you got both the calorie ceiling and the protein floor.
Well, because you get focused too much on one or the other. It's real simple. You have to have a goal body weight. Everybody, I would tell you, there's a favorite pair of jeans sitting in your closet you've been waiting to put back on. Whatever you weighed when that was, maybe make that your goal, or whatever you feel like the best picture you ever was, or if maybe you've never been there and you want to get there, or you have a number in your head, you think that's what it's got to be, whether it's 10 pounds, 30 pounds, 60 pounds, 70 pounds, whatever it is, right? Make that the number, but there's a math equation, right?
Okay.
If you want to be in a deficit, well, first off, if you want to eat the right amount of calories, if I want to eat the amount of calories that a 190-pound man eats and stays at 190, I got to know what that calorie count is. So I want to take 190 times 10 times 11 and times 12. 10's the major deficit, 11 sort of maintained, 12 is the number. You know that? You know this or no?
No. This is, I mean, the numbers are kind of working out to what I thought when you say times 10 times 11 and times 12.
I have mine written right here. Mine's on my board in front of me. Of course, I can't put my face to it right now because I got it hidden in 20 other things, but I got it at 2240. So 2,240 calories, right? But the way to come up with it is, let's say you want to be 195 pounds times 11, it's 2145, right? Now you can actually add your exercise number to that. I don't, right? Okay. So I stay at 2145. That's my calorie ceiling. Now I'm already eating at 190-pound person.
Wait. Is that your calorie ceiling to stay at 190 pounds, or was that your calorie ceiling when you were getting down from?
No, so listen to what I'm saying to you. If I want to be 190 pounds,
you did say that.
The calorie number is 2145. That's the ceiling. So now if I'm 270, I'm already eating in that deficit. I'm already learning how to be there. Now when I get there, I'm already used to eating that amount of food. I'm not going higher or any lower, right?
I love it.
Now, and the other trick there is once you get there, the 11, the reason you use the 11, not the 12 or the 10 is how you start to adjust for a new deficit. Like you want to get out of a plateau. And then the 12, you multiply it times 12, gives you a couple extra 100 calories. You want to go up to that once in a while. You want to go down low, go up high. You want to go in between those two.
Yeah, don't do the same thing all the time, or you'll force your body to plateau.
Yeah, it changes your thermostat is the way I think about it, right? You got to change the thermostat once in a while to keep burning fat. Yep. So that's what you want to do. You want to figure out what your calorie ceiling is. 11 times your low body weight. Whatever that is, you're already eating in the deficit. You're already headed towards that number, and you'll be there once you're there. That's a good place to be.
I love an easy way to break it down too, Tice. Good stuff. Your goal weight times 11. Go.
All right. So protein floor. So this has changed a lot since I started, but it's the easiest way to say it is 1 gram of body weight, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight that you want. That's what's out there.
I do 0.7 grams per.
So that's where it started. That's where I used to hear it, was the 0.7.
Yep.
1 is the number for men who are lifting and doing resistance training. And 1.2, believe it or not, is what I'm hearing for women right now. So, yeah, isn't that crazy? Like their need for protein, but it's easier it's way easier for my wife to hit 120 grams in a day than it is for me to hit 200 grams in a day.
Based on what you eat. But here's the problem I see with women and protein is that they don't want to get big. So like same thing when I try and talk my wife into creatine, because every woman who is perimenopausal or at the age where that's likely to start should be on creatine, and she doesn't want to have the water weight. And it's the same thing with protein, I don't want to put the weight on. I don't want to look big.
So I would tell you this is a deep dive thing then, because the water weight from creatine volumizes the cells, yes. But if you are working out and you are eating correctly, creatine, especially if you go into the 20-gram mark, is all about the brain, especially with women. Like it's super good for them. Yeah. And I mean, I don't experience water weight from it. So I don't know how to say it. She's not experiencing that. and we're both taking way more than most people take. Like,
yeah, way more than the 5 grams. You said 20 grams a day you're
yeah,
taking.
so I'll usually put 5 grams in each cup of coffee in the morning. So I'll do 2, and then I'll get another 5, and maybe even a second one in a shake or something later on the day. I just put it in. I just keep putting it in.
I up it to 10. I do 5 grams in the morning and 5 grams at night, but I have heard that getting up to even 30 grams, as long as your body doesn't reject it and you
I haven't had any problem with it. I buy the Naked, which is supposedly a great product, and everybody in my household takes supplements. So from the littlest one all the way up, and we all take creatine.
All right, so I don't want to get off your five because I want to talk about some of this stuff. I want to talk about creatine a little bit more, and I want to talk about your supplements, but I don't want to miss the end of your 5.
Okay. So protein floor.
Yep.
Again, the easiest way to remember it for folks is just 1 gram per goal body weight every day. And look, here's the trick, especially trying to lose fat. The window, 12 to 8. Okay. First meal, heavily protein focused. Piece, very large piece of meat, as much as 8 to 12 ounces. Make sure it's a protein focused meal. Second meal, again, protein focused meal, 0 hunger. I mean,
I can only do it by shakes and bars is the only way I can really get there. I got to do protein shakes and I got to do protein bars, or I never get to I try to do 150 grams a day.
Do you like cottage cheese?
I mean, I can stomach it, but
so here's the hacks. Cottage cheese.
I like hacks. Go ahead.
So cottage cheese or yogurt, cup of it almost with every meal. I do cottage cheese with hamburger or steak or chicken, or I just had 2 quarter-pound hamburgers with a big thing of cottage cheese with it.
No roll, of course, just the burgers.
I do the roll. I do the roll now. I mean, look. So we're gonna go. If I get into 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, I'll tell you. We'll talk about the roll, right? But we're gonna talk about 5 right now. So to me, this is the other non-negotiable. These 5 are non-negotiable, right? You have to resistance train. Now that doesn't mean you have to go out and lift weights. It should end up there.
It could be push-ups and chin-ups, but it's got to be.
As a matter of fact, you know where it can start? It can start exactly where it started with me, because I couldn't lift. I couldn't pick something up. My arm was just sewn back on.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell everybody, is it was literally hanging off. I was riding down the road, and my elbow was on the window of with the window rolled down. My elbow was on the window.
Yeah.
And my shoulder fell into my armpit. I had to use my own fist from the other hand, holding the wheel, my arm disconnected, and shove my arm back, put my shoulder back into the socket through my armpit. That's how bad my shoulder was.
So you weren't like, let me go hit the gym.
Yeah, I wasn't going to the gym.
Yeah.
So I told my niece this, my sister-in-law this, my wife this. My kids all lift weights, right? My kids lift heavy. They lift in the garage. They lift weights every day. They've been doing it for a couple of years now. They're all in very good shape, my kids. You can do body weight squats, which is literally sit down on your couch, stand back up. Sit down on your couch, stand back up. You can do countertop push-ups. Put your hands on the counter. Do a push-up as far. Let yourself go in. Push yourself back out. And you could. That's where it can start. It doesn't have to start in the gym and some program and all that. You need to have.
Probably shouldn't, right?
No, not if you're at 0. I'm not at 0. I think I'm trying to talk to guys that did work out or do work out, but just can't get the fucking weight off. Just can't figure it out. And you have to resistance train. What you will find is, when you do first one, the 10,000 steps, when that starts to happen, then you start the fasting, and you should be doing them all at the same time. It's just when they get you get committed to it.
But dude, I like what you're saying. If you start all 5 things at once, you're likely to stop, where it's like week 1, start pillar number 1, get the 10,000 steps in. Week 2, add pillar number 2. Week 3, I love doing things that way because you're less likely to fall off and you build momentum. Anything's about direction and momentum.
It is. So. It's the momentum, and with those 5, when you find yourself that you've done that for a couple of weeks, you won't want to miss, and then things get added. Like the next parts for me were all added on. Like
you didn't talk about hydration. I thought you were going to talk about water.
How's here? Water? I have it. I mean, it's 6. So let me read through 6 through 10. So it's the 5 non-negotiables, 6 through 10 are the hacks, right? These are the things that make it change. Okay. Yeah. So number 6 is you got to come with a vision, and that allows you to have a goal, plan, and action, right? So the action for me goes right back to the first 5. Do those 5, you're already on your way, right?
Yeah.
Vision is a funny thing. It changes the whole time. At 70 pounds overweight, I didn't realize I was 70 pounds overweight. I didn't feel like a fat person. I wore tight t-shirts. I guess I always did, but I went on vacations and take my shirt off at the pool. I never
saw you as fat, bro. Like we were both a little overweight, but I never saw you as fat. But I don't think I ever saw you at 260 either.
Yeah, well, I mean, I looked at myself in the mirror one day and was like, "Who the hell is that guy?" And I just didn't want it to get worse, and I owed it to my kids and their kids to be, a healthy gray-haired person. That's how I felt about it, right? So I had a vision for getting myself back in shape and being in better shape than I really have ever been. And that vision wasn't possible before the 70 pounds. Does that make sense? Like yes, I couldn't have that. I couldn't have that because that wasn't what's here. I've gone for 20 pounds and failed 10 times. 20 times, 30 times. I can go back from my phone right now and look at before and after, all befores, no afters, right?
Yeah.
And I got a lot of them, like for real, where I held a fucking newspaper and took a picture of myself and said, "This is it. I'm changing it.
I'm never going back.
Never going back." And
you know what I learned about myself, Tyson? I've learned that I have amazing discipline. I have better discipline than anybody I know. Like I said, I can go 72 hours without eating anything and just drinking black tea. I have the worst self-control of anybody in the world. Like, I can't do anything a little bit. Like, I could be like, no alcohol for the next 6 months. But then I can't be like, well, then I'm just going to have a couple of drinks once in a while. It's like I'm either all or nothing.
Yeah. So the peptides changed a lot of that for me.
Okay.
So, and I don't want to go down that road yet. Let's go 6, 7, 8, 9,
we're 10. Gonna end there, but
so 6 is the vision and goal and plan and action. 7, H2O, sleep, supplement, and no alcohol. You don't like.
Okay, wait. Talk to me. How much sleep in your mind is necessary, or what do you shoot for in your routine?
Okay, so let's. I wrote those without thinking about the order of them before. Let's talk about supplement first.
Okay.
What is a supplement? A supplement is something that your body needs to have. You're not getting it in your diet. You're not getting it from the world or your environment somehow. So you're finding it and you're taking it or using it, right? In my mind.
Yep.
Okay, couple huge things for me. And this is a rabbit. This is going to take you down another whole trail. But I've always had really bad anxiety my whole life. Never could attribute it to any one thing. I would tell people about it or try to explain to them. It's like this feeling of dread without having a reason for dread is what I would tell people. But it wasn't really anxiety. I think we put this label to this chemical feeling that you're getting. You don't know that it's a chemical. It's a thought. So you're basically, you have this anxiety. We call it anxiety. Some people call it ADHD. Some people will call it depression. But it's probably all the same feeling. So in researching it with the rabbit holes that we do, right, I found out about this thing called the MTHFR gene mutation. Okay. So I have it. I went.
You and me both, dude.
Okay.
I have
MTHFR. I did the DNA test.
Folate every day.
Right. So then that opened a whole new world for me. I didn't realize that we were literally eating folic acid and that shit's it's like the worst thing. It's like poison for me.
I spent 10 years of my life trying to figure out, was it gluten or was it dairy? Was it gluten or was it dairy? And I couldn't figure it out with all these stomach issues. And then I got a methylation test and found out, oh, shoot, you have the MTHFR deficiency. Started taking a little pill that totally changed my life. Now, I mean, I don't have the stomach issues that I had for.
So what's the pill?
A methylated folate with a vitamin
B. 5-methylfolate. So it's a vitamin. So
yes,
most people the doctors will try to put you on, for what I had was like serious anxiety attacks. Like I was having anxiety. I told a friend about it. Joe Barnes, again, I'm telling you, saying to him again. And he was following Gary Brecka. You know Brecka, right? Or Gary Brecka. So Gary Brecka had a podcast, and he did describe a guy drives into his driveway, and there's this man standing there with a sledgehammer, and he's all covered in blood. And you would have this feeling, like imagine that feeling you would have. And he's like, we have people come into our clinic all the time and describe a feeling like that, but there's no guy in their driveway. And man, that just sat with me. I'm like, that's how I feel. Like I feel like somebody is supposed to be in trouble right now, or I'm missing something, and it was like that real feeling that you get when you have a real problem. And I would just be sitting in my house having that feeling for no reason. So on that podcast, he mentioned two different vitamins to take. SAM E, which big SAM, little E.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget what that's an acronym for something. It's way too long to say out loud.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do take SAM little.
And then 5-methylfolate. Years ago, when all this process started, life-changing. Have not had that anxiety. No, I have it when I'm supposed to. Like if I'm procrastinating on something or something like that, I'll get a small amount of it. But I started taking those vitamins and that supplement, and that changed everything for me. Another supplement that a lot of people should really look into, if you're a guy and you're gaining 10 pounds a year and you're not feeling the way you used to feel, and you can't really attribute it to, let's say it's beers, you're drinking the same amount of beers, or you're eating the same amount of food and the weight, and it's just, you cut that out and that doesn't help. I went and got my testosterone checked. My testosterone was in the floor, man. And I would guess that it might have been that way for 10 fucking years. I have no idea.
It's like we're living the same life here, bro.
There we go.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
We're living the same life, dude.
So you did the same thing?
I did.
Right. I tell every friend, all the guys that all have gray hair, I told every one of them, go get it checked.
I tell them to go to I have a longevity doctor. And I went to my longevity doctor, who helped me straighten out all my blood, my testosterone, everything. And everyone that I talk to, I'm like, dude, invest the money. No, it's not covered. The blood's covered by insurance, but the visit isn't. So what? Spend $1,000 a year to have someone that helps you be accountable for your own health by not just guessing stuff, by literally looking at the metrics of your blood. So,
right.
But he's my testosterone.
Look, and that's it's not rocket science. Like if you get somebody to show you what it's supposed to be and where it's supposed to sit, I was like, just first off, supposedly the thresholds or the range has changed over the year. They've actually brought it down supposedly. So yes. I was in the bottom of the range, and I could tell. I knew it, right? I knew when I went that was going to stand out and be a problem. So, and since I've started that, total life changing. Like,
me too.
So, and this was before peptides. This was before terzepatide. Yeah. I lost 20 some pounds, started feeling better, definitely like had more energy. The weight loss part felt like some things were working the right way again. I had cut some other stuff out. I started taking the SAMe and the 5-methylfolate and TRT. And I went from, the brain fog, the weird depression, the weird anxiety, all that shit kind of went. It's not like gone. Like it's where it's supposed to be. Is probably the right way to say it.
And how awesome is that, Tice? Because think about it, right? You started something to get your physical health in better shape, not even realizing that you were going to change your mental health. that much, or figure out things that were wrong with you that you might have never figured out if you didn't first try and change your physical health. I was going to ask you, what was the thing that you weren't expecting to change so much when you started losing 70 pounds? But I'm guessing that's probably it. You probably didn't realize the mental increase you were going to get by being 70 pounds lighter and changing your supplements and your eating habits.
Well, I'm going to say that the anxiety thing changing based on a vitamin and just getting a processed food out of our house, like getting folic acid out of 80% of what we eat, like it was there. It was just walk in the closet, here it all is.
You think it's more. If it says enriched or fortified, they spray folic acid on it and sell it to you like it's a good thing.
Yeah,
so there's so much.
And my son, it's visible. He's 9 now, but when he was, when we figured this out a couple of years ago, it was like dealing with a kid who had a real problem. Like when he would get upset, he would get overly upset, or when he was trying to focus, he just couldn't do it. It's real. That's the shit that's causing it.
His body was stacking up something that it couldn't process, and 44% of us have this deficiency, yet 5% of us know about it, and 2% of us
it's terrible. Terrible.
Crazy.
The best I heard it said was that like you're sitting there watching an actor, and he comes out on the stage and he's doing an act. And if you're a normal person, he finishes his act and he leaves. But if you're a person with this MTHFR gene mutation, the person comes out, he starts his act. Someone else comes out, starts their act. Another person comes out. No one ever leaves. No one ever finishes or goes away. And you don't have the ability to break that thought down. And it's not attention deficit disorder. It's attention overload disorder. And like I know how bad it was messing me up. And I'm a grown man, like living my life hiding it. And I used to beat it down with alcohol. That was the easy way to get rid of it. It was, I never really realized how bad it was. But as I got older, it got worse. It was worse. It was more severe is the right way of saying it. And man, 2 vitamins changed that. Like a vitamin that you can buy literally from Amazon. It's not a medication.
You don't need a prescription.
I started listening to other people instead of, and I think COVID brought that about for me too. Just I lost a lot of trust into just taking like the one word at its face value and whatever the doctor says, do that, right?
No,
I'm going to look a little further now, right?
It's like, wait, now the doctor's the person I go to when I break something, or I'm like really sick. Besides that,
he's going to sew my arm back on, and then I'm going to, right? And we don't go to the doctors for barely anything. So, So I started on 7 was H2O, sleep, supplement, and alcohol. So supplement started. I should have put that first, but
you did. That's what we were talking about first.
Yeah, if you get your TRT squared away and I got that anxiety part straightened out, my sleep straightened out. And then once my sleep straightened out, I started now I actually cherish sleep. Like I have a time when I want to go to bed, and I have a time when I want to get up, and I'm making sure I get 7 to 8 hours. It's a scheduled 8, and it usually lands at about 7. And if I slept right for 3 or 4 days in a row, 7's fine.
Yep. So, that's my number 2. 7's what I make sure I get. 8 is what I'd like to get. 6 is what if I get less than 6, I'm a mess. I'm useless. So
yeah. Now you said
are there any other ones that you think? I mean, MTHFR is one that honestly, if you're someone out there that's listening that's like, well, I've had some stomach issues and I can't attribute them to anything, just go buy MTHFR methylfolate on Amazon and take a methylated folate. And if you don't need it, your body will just get rid of it. And if you do, you might fix something that is wrong with 44% of us. So
I agree with that. But I think even more important, if somebody's listening to this or watching this who has problems with anxiety, and I'm talking like the kind where someone would prescribe you Valium or something of that nature, try it. And it ain't going to hurt anything. 5-methylfolate and SAMe together, It's all you need. I mean, really, AG1 has 5-methylfolate in it. And I noticed it when I took that. Like, I noticed that actually helped. You know, and I'm sure, and I can never attribute it at that time to any one specific one. But once I started taking 5-methylfolate as a pill by itself with SAMe, those two together, man, it was like, for me, it's life changing. Like it literally took away that I haven't had it since. I haven't had that problem since.
And you mentioned AG1. AG1 is if I had to just take one supplement.
Right. Well, that's what I do. I actually will take. If I give you my list right now, you got time?
Dude, we'll compare lists off screen.
It's a long list.
I might have you beat, bro.
I think the ones I like, the thing I like the most right now is methylene blue. I think
I bought the methylene blue and I haven't taken it yet. I just, as I do, the more research I do, I'm like, that's one that I'm on the fence. I'm going to wait a little while since I don't think if
anyone drops. Well, you got me on it, so you can call me.
There you go.
I take it. I actually put it all the way back in the back of my mouth and shoot it so it doesn't get in my teeth and all. My wife's drives her crazy because if you get one drop on anything, it's like hard as shit to get out.
Yeah.
But it's noticeable when you take that how much energy you have. Okay. I don't know. I actually don't know if that's what it's supposed to do for you, but you can actually, when I don't take it, I can tell. And it's a very, you just feel good when you're on that. It really does. It's been that one's, and I haven't been sick or anything for a long time. So like I started taking all these things and I'm scared to take any of them away because I feel so good.
Yeah. But then you don't know what you're taking that's working and not working either. You're
right.
Like
I take nitric acid. The nitric acid is like, I get real weighty.
What acid?
Nitric acid.
Okay, got it. Yep.
So I take that. I mean, right away, your veins all come out. Like that makes you very veiny. So I feel like it's helping me get blood through my body and oxygen through my body real good. Magnesium, zinc, the seaweed, but it's basically ashwagandha, black seed oil, and all mixed together. Shilajit, ginger. I take a methylated multi, the 5-methylfolate, the SAMe, and I do take a metformin, the prescription of metformin, but I started that a long time ago. I don't know if I need to be on that anymore, really.
I just stopped it, man. I was having nerve issues. Then I heard 3 other people that were having nerve issues, and I just recently stopped. I'm going to switch to berberine, I think, because berberine's called poor man's metformin. So
that's way better for you. It's again.
You follow David Sinclair at all? You know who he is?
Yeah.
So I do the supplements you do, everything you said, I do too. I also follow his regimen of the NMN, resveratrol, TMG, was metformin, now switching to berberine, and one other TMG, NMN, metformin. Oh, there's one other one too, but I love, to me, following him for now 4 years and seeing what he's been able to do with, like, I know it's not humans, but mice, he's been able to turn their age backwards. Right. And he's taken the same thing that he's given the mice, and his 80-year-old father is taking the same things he gives the mice. And he's the head of Harvard's aging division. Like, if there's anyone you should listen to, maybe it's David Sinclair. One of the things that can't hurt you. So
that's the same vein of like all of them, the Peter McCullough, the Peter Attia.
I like Attia. Attia's you want to get really, particular. Attia is the guy to listen to. He doesn't like any supplements.
He's funny though. He doesn't give the peptide stuff high grades ever.
Or supplements.
Yeah.
He thinks there's almost no supplement that's worth taking.
Yeah. I can't. I don't know. I can't agree right now. Maybe
I don't care. It could be placebo. I feel like a whole different person since I changed my life over the last 10 years and started taking supplements and getting my health in control. So,
I was missing all kinds of stuff, man. There's no chance I was getting it in my diet. I tried the keto crap for so long, and then, I tried. I just didn't do any of it for real. I did it all, half
dabble.
And then dabble. It doesn't work, and you wonder why. And it,
you went from dabbling to now. You went from dabbling to now 600 days in a row of mastering your situation in your routine. So, dude, let's do this because I want to spend the last 10 minutes talking about peptides. But
All right,
real quick,
ahead.
give me your 8, 9, and 10.
So 8, 9, and 10. So fast, slow, low, no, pro, which is the RFP, which is real food percentage. That's
Okay.
you should, when you eat, 8 of 10 things that go across your teeth should be real food, right?
Single
Real
ingredient.
food, right? So, and then the fast, slow, low, no, pro is it should be you should fast, you should do a slow carb, low carb, or no carb, and then it's protein focused, right?
Like
so
that.
Fasting, and then I always call it a motion hobby or be hard to kill. So jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing, I mean, hell, target shooting, something that makes you move around and makes you a little harder to kill. And then the 10th is be a student and a teacher. So, this shit changes all the time. There's always going to be something different or new or better or whatever it is. And if you look at it, it's all sort of still the same. But if you become sort of a student of it, and then we're teaching each other in my family, we're teaching each other right now. I think that's all part of it as well. And what happens is, right back to tracking, like when you track, you get an education on food. Like when you're tracking your food, you start to figure out this is really super high in calories. This is really super high in protein.
I say it this way, Tice. You could just go research food online for a year and you'll learn more about yourself and food and your body by tracking everything that goes in and out of your mouth for 2 weeks than you will by spending a year.
Absolutely, 100%. And you'll never be right unless you track it. You just won't be. I can guess at it. I guess at it for 2 or 3 meals, over a week. Any 1 week myself, I'll start to miss it, and I'll watch my son. He's actually tracking his stuff, and I'll go back and try to figure out like where was I at, and I'll know. I'm totally wrong. I'm totally wrong about how many calories I had. I'm totally wrong about how much protein I got. Usually it's shortage of protein. For me, it's like I had steak today, I had chicken today, I had this today, and then I look at it, I'm not even close. And it's just
I had 5 grams of protein.
Yeah, 190 is not easy, man. That's.
No, I know. I know because I do 150, and 150 is not easy, dude.
No, there's a trick. There's two. Well, it's a 3-part trick for me. I have to have a protein shake. You have to have 2 protein focused meals. When I say protein focused, I mean it's like 70 grams per meal. And then you have to have that protein shake. And that usually gets you there. So it's 70, 70, 140, and 50 in a protein shake, and you're usually there. But I got protein candies too, which I partake in.
I like the David's protein bars for that. They're 150
calories.
David's?
They're good. They're good.
30 grams of protein for 150 calories. You can't beat it. They're good.
They are good. I actually, we get the cases of the barbells here because the kids like them, and I have a thing for cookies and cream. I can't help it. So
can't blame you, bro. That's my protein shake most days.
What are we talking about now? Peptides?
Want to finish this talking a little peptides?
Yeah, let's.
So the one that we took together. Let's talk first about BPC, body protecting compound 157. And you also did what I did. It looks like you mixed the TB 500 mix. Yeah, so I actually took the Glow peptide, which is the third peptide, and it is the GHK-Cu of the copper, right? Yeah, I saw that.
And that the GHK is more like collagen and hair.
GKU, isn't it GKU? You said
GHK.
GUK.
I spelled it wrong on your thing.
I've
said it to you the wrong way. It's GHK-Cu.
When I looked it up, I saw the strong affinity to copper. It's for tissue repair and wound healing.
Right.
Also, skin health will make your skin look pretty.
Yeah, it makes you look like you get rid of this shit.
Yeah, you look younger. Gets rid of the crepey skin and stuff.
You know what I noticed? It's to make it to laugh. Is it makes you tan? It keeps you tan.
Okay, dude, bro.
I feel like I'm getting tan from it,
dude. I need it.
Yeah,
look, my head the background doesn't know what to do with my head. I'm so bad.
It keeps disappearing. You like how it has like chunks coming out.
Yeah.
But BPC-157 is game changer. Like
I agree.
So, but I figured I would put the glow in it because it was just all the same price. It was a microdose exactly how I wanted to do it. It had the TB500. I was hearing about the Wolverine stack and how that healed. You've heard the Wolverine stack? That's the BPC and TB500 mixed together.
That's
okay.
All,
that's all the Wolverine stack, right?
Interesting.
And I was shooting them for my shoulders. I pinch the fat up and go subcutaneous on my shoulders. Yep. But man, it takes, like, you can feel it takes I don't want to say all the inflammation kind of feeling, but that's what that when you feel like you're inflamed and that soreness is there, especially anybody who has bad shoulders is going to know exactly what I'm talking about. When that's that way, you take this, it goes away. And it goes away.
I tore my calf and I was training running a lot. And I couldn't run for a month. And at the end of the month, I'm like, I still can't run. I'm walking down the steps sideways. So I called my buddy who'd been taking the BPC-157, where I went, okay, he's been taking it for 6 months. I'll just get it from the same place he's getting it from. By the way, did not expect it to come in a powder form with hydrostatic water that I had to mix into it myself and roll it on the table so I didn't ruin it and then inject it. But, so I did that after 48 hours. Wasn't even, I think, 36 hours. I went from I can't walk down the steps straight to I can go run again. I'm fine. It's gone. It was crazy. Yeah. And now it could have been partially, good timing. I had not ran, but I was still walking down the steps sideways.
Yeah, and there's too many people say the same stuff for me to put it that way too. Because my shoulders hurt forever, all the time, especially like, with boxing and jiu-jitsu and all that pulling on your arms, and they're sore lifting weights. They're just sore in that one spot where it's always that way. I started taking that, man, just not there anymore. Just not
How
there.
often do you take it?
I have been on taking the BPC TB500 for 4 months.
Now, do you do the 5 days on, 2 days off, or do you take it just when you think you need it?
I am taking a microdose of it, so I'm doing it's like on the 10 units, it's the 4 units. So it's almost like a 0.5 milligram with 100 of backwater in there. And I do it every day.
Okay.
I have stopped for like 2 weeks. I wasn't intentional. I just didn't buy it. And then I was like, I was going to not do it. And I bought it again and started taking it again because I felt like the GHK is doing wonders for my skin.
Yeah, that's what I read that it does. So.
What's that?
That's what I read that it does. And then the BPC is helping your shoulder get back. Now, I'm going to send you, when we get off, I'll send you the link to the podcast I listened to with a doctor on Andrew Huberman. A couple of doctors I've heard have said when you're taking, you can continuously take it, but you should do 5 days on, 2 days off, 5 days on, 2 days off.
You should.
He had really good reasons for why you should do it. I'm an idiot, not a doctor, so let me just let you listen and hear that for yourself. But
all right.
I only took it twice.
Their sensitivity to it goes away after a while, right?
What's that?
It's something about your sensitivity going away after a while. Your sensitivity to the peptide itself.
It was kind of like everything else. You build up a tolerance where if you don't give your body the same thing every day, it doesn't get used to something and start to look forward to it and rely on it. So
right. Well, so that was the biggest difference for peptides for me. I felt good about them, even as much as suggesting them to other people and everything. You feel weird about that. Maybe not with testosterone, but the difference between like a synthetic steroid or a synthetic hormone and the
I felt weird, dude. I felt weird telling people about BPC-157 because I'm like, I mean, I had to find something that said I was going to only give it to a horse or a non-human mammal. So it's like, I feel weird telling anybody, but I also felt weird not telling people that were struggling with stuff and thinking about getting surgery on things that you might be able to use BPC 157 to avoid getting cut for?
Jiu-jitsu gyms, I think everybody takes it.
I'm not surprised. You can't roll without getting hurt. So
yeah, there's everybody with gray hair in there. It's like you're taking in BPC 157. Everybody's talking about it, but
don't you have to?
Yeah, it's it's a protein. It's a branched chain amino acid. It's bio-identical to the same shit you already have in your body. It's not a replacement for something. It's an enhancement of an actual signaler that you already have. So it's
something in your body. The way it was explained to me is an amino acid. It's a chain of amino acids. If it's 40 or less, it's a peptide. If it's 41 or more, it's a protein. Our body makes over 3,000 peptides. Guess how many of them we currently use in medical, in practice?
I don't know.
150 of the 300,000 that our body makes. So this is why people who aren't into peptides, you should get into peptides, because this is going to be something that changes over the next 15, 20. I think in 15, 20 years, people aren't going to take medicine. They're just going to take peptides, something their body naturally produces that they're just taking more of to fix problems that medicines that we create don't always fix. So
yeah, that's a road to go down too, because they are trying to, like, pharmaceutical companies are trying to make them, they call
illegal. Dude, you can't get the reason you
can't bio. They're trying to make, they're calling them something else so that they can keep them from being sold to a regular.
So they can figure out how to turn them into things like Ozempic that then they make billions of dollars on, but they make them illegal until they figure out ways to protect them and sell them to us for way more than we can get them by just compounding pharmacies or, So
well, that was the thing. It would keep it out of compound pharmacies for another 4 years, and if they get the designation of the bio, it would be 12 years. So that they would have a monopoly on it. I mean, look, tirzepatide is GLP-1. Tirzepatide is a peptide, and that's what they're selling. Zepbound is literally tirzepatide. It's the same shit, same exact stuff. The active ingredient that's in it. You can go buy tirzepatide for $250 for 6 weeks if you're on a lower dosage. You're at I mean, if you buy Zepbound, it's $1,400 for that needle. Now it's come down quite a bit since 2 years ago. I actually started on Zepbound.
Okay.
When I started my peptide, I didn't know they were peptides. I went and got Zepbound. People called it the shot. I had lost 20, 25 pounds, but I saw my brother-in-law. He had lost damn close to 50, and he just
what are you doing that I'm not doing? Like, I know you.
Tell me about this.
Yeah.
And he couldn't even remember the name of Mounjaro. He couldn't even remember it. But once he told me what Mounjaro was, I did research and I read that it was within a couple of weeks they were coming out. It was like it was in November or whatever. They were coming out with Zepbound. They were about to release it as a weight loss drug. And I tried to get my insurance to help me out with it, but Eli Lilly had put out a discount card, and they said if you fill this out, you can get it for half price. So it's $600 instead of $1,200. And I was paying $600 a month, and I took that 2.5 for 2.5. I look at it now, I'm like, oh my God, they're killing people, man. It, like, you buy 15 milligrams now for $250, and they were giving 2.5 for $600, right? So what is that? 4 weeks of it. So it's 10 milligram bottle essentially. And, but it worked. It worked. I mean, I had these other things in line. I had the walking, the fasting, the protein and calories. I was tracking everything. I was lifting weights, and I wasn't.
The GLP-1 was a part of it. It was a tool, dude. You did the right thing with it, Tyson. You used it as a tool. You didn't use it as the only thing. You weren't sitting home just like, let me take this shot and then wait for the weight to fall off.
Well, I could never understand that. I have all these videos of me talking to myself when I was walking, but I never could understand people's not learning about, like, take this time where where the food noise is gone.
Yeah.
And your hunger cravings are gone, and you learn about yourself. Like at 10 o'clock in the morning, I have a habit of being hungry at 10 o'clock. I'm not hungry. I have a habit of being there. I have a habit of standing in front of the refrigerator or, the pantry, or if I'm out in the car, I'm looking for places to go, whatever it was. 10 o'clock. Can I get past that? No problem. Now that I'm on this, the food noise is gone. I can make it to 2. I don't need to. I don't
Not
need
even hungry at 10
2
anymore.
o'clock anymore. And once you start to lose weight, it's first off, if you're not losing weight, it's insulin resistance, right? Which is really impaired muscle. So if you really want to fucking like a hack for fixing impaired muscle, go lift weights. Lift weights, get the sugar out of your bloodstream, and let your insulin correct itself. And get, if you're 30 pounds or heavier, overweight, you really, tirzepatide is there's so many great things about it. It makes you more insulin sensitive. It basically it takes away those reward centers for really everything: alcohol, snacks, cigarettes, cigars, any of the things.
Wait. So you think Ozempic or Zepbound in your case is part of the reason why you stopped drinking? Well,
so Zepbound and Ozempic, 2 different things, right? So semaglutide, that's a GLP.
Okay.
I think, or it's a semaglutide. Tirzepatide or Zepbound is actually 2. That's GLP-1 and GIP. Now there's a peptide out there called retatrutide. Retatrutide's all 3 of them. That's GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon, all 3 together. That's the one I take now in microdose.
Okay.
And that, absolutely, they're testing that right now for drug addiction, alcohol abuse.
Wow.
Obesity is only one of the problems, but it turns off your reward centers. Not in the wrong way, like sex-wise, all that stuff's still normal. Yeah. But I don't want a cigar like I used to want one. Like if I would be sitting here now and I'd be like, ooh,
you were drinking a cigar guy. So.
I love cigars. Still do. But I'm not looking for one, right? Chocolate, the weirdest stuff. Like those, I noticed that's gone. That noise for something that's habitual is gone. And then from alcohol, I don't know if it's the peptides or if it's just eating right now. Alcohol just doesn't. I can do it once in a while, and I can really go off the deep end if I want to, and I'll be fine. But once in a while, I'll drink, man, and the next day or that night, it makes me so sick.
Dude, so when you don't drink, like 2 weeks later, you're like, why do I feel so great? You're like, oh shit. Poisoning my body.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
Another story with alcohol is what it does, right? So it's a fuel, and it's the first fuel your body will go to if it's in your system. So if you drink, like if you just do the math, if I was drinking Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, and it's going to take 36 hours for that alcohol to get out of my system, so that's 4.5 days where I'm not burning fat. I'm burning alcohol first, then it's going to go to sugar. So if I got sugar in my system too, now the fat's got to wait again. And by the time that's done,
it's the weekend again. Then it's the weekend again. More alcohol and sugar.
Yeah. So it's I didn't quit alcohol. Like tomorrow night's Halloween night, we'll have a keg in the driveway.
Okay.
I might have a couple beers and might have 10. I don't know. I don't.
Even better, dude.
I would put that in the calculation though. Like if I have a calorie ceiling of 2,000 calories tomorrow, I probably won't eat till 4 o'clock. I'll have 1,000 calorie meal, and then I'll go out there and have 10 beers if I want to.
That's balanced, bro. That's balanced, Tyson.
Yeah,
I love it.
But then I won't do it again until Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Right.
Excess in moderation.
Yeah.
Not a bad way to live. Dude, Tyson, we could talk all night. So I want to say this too. I've noticed the people that are into peptides and the people that are into health and longevity, especially guys, I've noticed seem to be like the most positive people. And you always were one of the most positive people in my life. Like you're always head in the clouds, but in a really good way, like you are now. Like, of course, you've got 10 pillars. I wouldn't even have, if you would have said, guess what I've done? I'm like, let me guess, you wrote a whole program that tells you how to live your life better. Because that's just how you do stuff, dude. So we should keep doing this. We should do this again in the future. And I can't wait till then to talk about how you're now down 100 pounds and you'll be able to show your 6-pack on Million Hour Life in a couple of months.
Yeah, look, I got a picture for you. Hold on. So I'll show you. This is me as the fatty.
No dick pics, bro.
No dick pics. I promise. Wow, that's actually bad. But can you see this? Let me see if you can see that. So I got pretty big, dude.
Yeah, dude. That is. I never saw you that big.
All right. So that was then. I mean,
there you go. There you do look a little heavy.
Right.
You do look like you were carrying the baby.
Hold on. I'll put my hand over this part. That was me today.
Damn, bro. That's at least a 4-pack. You got a 4-pack.
I'm going after Prizzy. I saw Prizzy on one of the shows the other day. I'm gonna show him.
Dude, he's so much younger than us. He's a college football player. We can't strive to be Prizzy.
No, that's right. That was one of my favorite things ever. Like, we'll get a card and everybody's picture. All the cards will be the same. It'll all be Prizzy's picture.
Yeah, we all want to be Priz. This is the model.
That was the hardest I ever laughed in 10-year period. That was fun working all of us.
Dude, watching him beat the track star in the 100-yard dash was.
And that guy was a freak of nature, too, man. He walked in the parking lot, was stretching and took his shirt off. And it's like, holy shit.
And Prizzy pretty much
whooped your ass. And Prizzy smoked him. I couldn't believe it. It was great.
Yeah. All right, dude, let's do this again, Tyson. So, and I want to hear. I want to see the book on the shelf at some point from Dad Bod to Rad Bod, bro. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one. I got all this stuff to add in there now because all the peptide stuff was sort of after, right? Like the stuff we're doing, I'm seeing now. Like I'm gonna tell. I want to leave you with two of them to look up. This is one to look up.
Research time. Go ahead.
Tesamorelin.
I have that one written down. And
then
Reddit growth hormone stimulator.
Right, but tesamorelin special, and here's why.
Breaks down visceral fat.
Visceral fat, yeah. And you know who they made it for? That was originally developed for people who had HIV, and that was the way of getting rid of that visceral fat and keeping the growth hormone and maintaining. You had asked me the question about wasting, which is just real quick. That's when you're losing muscle. You lose muscle from taking the GLP-1s. Retatrutide stops that. Tesamorelin stops that. And you get the real thin skin all around. Like you can feel the visceral fat go away. And that's all like down around your hips and down around, down in your gut. And then the retatrutides, that's new stuff, man. I'm telling you, if you ever tried tirzepatide, do the micro doses too. You don't have to take a lot of it. 1-2 milligram. You can work up to 4 if you really thought you needed to. But man, it shreds you. The fat comes off.
One question: when you say microdose, are you still subcutaneously injecting microdose, or do you take that a different way when you're microdose?
No, it's still subcutaneous. It's just you're taking, a half a milligram to a milligram versus, 4. Like retatrutide, you could take the same way you took tirzepatide. You could take as much as 15 milligrams at a time, over per week.
But listen, I like what you're doing because your body would never have that amount of the peptide in it. So microdosing, it's like, okay, you're just giving your body a little bit more of what it needs than what it's used to. That's
different. It's supposed to have in the first place. Yeah,
that's different to me than flooding it with something. So I love the idea of microdosing peptide. That's what our next time I have you on, Tice, that's what we're going to talk about specifically is a good amount of microdosing peptides because that's something that it's been around for a little while, but it's now that people are seeing the problems that happen by larger doses of peptides, I think it's going to be something that's talked about a lot more with taking smaller doses like you're doing.
Yeah, I feel like it's safer. I feel like your body would process it the right way. And look, if you're seeing results or you feel good and you're not in this you can't make this all happen tomorrow. This is like we want to live for a long time.
We got 1,000,000 hours to live.
Got
We don't
1,000,000
have
hours.
to.
I 10,000 or something once you're at our age, isn't it?
No, I'm almost halfway. I'm almost at 500,000 hours. So
all right.
you got to live to be 114 years and 11 months old to make it to 1,000,000 hours.
There's one American who did that, isn't there?
I don't know about American. I know the oldest person I want to say made it up to 117 or 118 maybe. So it's already possible. But over the next 30 years, medicine's going to change. AI is going to get involved. Living to be 115 is going to be like living to be 80 now.
I agree with that. We got to get our my retirement in order.
Yeah, that's the thing. You want to live long, you got to be able to afford it. You know that's
no shit, right? No shit. All right, brother.
Dude, love you, bro. Great talking to you. Let's do this again. Tell your wife I said hey.
Yeah.
All right.
You do the same.
What's that?
You do the same.
Will do, bro. John Tyson, 1,000,000 Hour Life. Proud to have you, man.
All right, bud. Thank you.